So, hello everyone. Welcome to today's free webinar hosted by Prevention Plus Wellness LLC, located in beautiful and quite hot St. Augustine, Florida. And I hope it's nice where you're at. As I look out my window, it's sunny, it's warm. Hopefully, we'll get some rain, and I hope it's nice and you're well wherever you're calling in from throughout the country, even abroad. Today's topic, as you can see, overview of Prevention Plus Wellness resources, and I'm Dr. Chudley Wirch, CEO and founder at Prevention Plus Wellness. And thank you so much again for joining us. I know some of you are still on the very end of your vacations, your summer vacations. Others have already started this week or about this time with kids going to school, and so a very busy time for everyone, I'm sure. So we can see the session objectives for today's webinar. A little bit different webinar than most of ours. There will not be slides I'll be sharing because I'm going to be showing you our website. It's going to be a walkthrough through our website and all the resources that we offer to prevention and health professionals throughout the country and abroad. So you can see you will be participating in a broad overview of Prevention Plus Wellness website content and resources. Some things are for sale, some things are free. We'll try to introduce everything for you. And by the way, related to that, if an organization wants to provide our programs, we will work with them with it and to get the materials they need within their budget. So we're always willing to help, particularly these smaller institutions, organizations, schools, whatever they might be, nonprofits, almost all of them that are providing and attempting to provide evidence-based prevention programs to their youth and young people. Will work with you to get you the resources within your budget. So keep that in mind. You could always reach out to us and we'll help any way we can. Number two, second objective for today's webinar is to review PBW programs, training opportunities, licenses, and all of our other materials on our website. And third, examine free program resources for prevention and health specialists who wish to prevent youth substance use and misuse and improve mental and physical well-being, performance, and even happiness through the promotion of protective wellness behaviors, healthy lifestyle behaviors. So that's what we'll be covering today. So to do that, we need to go to our website. So let me go there. By the way, this is being recorded, and I will send everyone later today an email. If you've registered, you'll get an email, and we will post the recording of this webinar and a CEU certificate for today's 1 hour time spent with us. No slides today because, as I said, there aren't any slides. We're really going to be walking you through this, what's on our website, step by step, quick overview. We won't be spending more than an hour on it. And then you'll know what's here, what's available, if you're interested or not, and you can focus in on certain things that may be relevant to what you're doing back home. Okay, so if you can, let me know if you can see this slide. So as I click on some of these pages, I think I have to continue to share that. So I want to just check. Can you see, if you can see my homepage right now, the Prevention Plus Wellness homepage? Somebody raise their hand, give me a hand wave? Okay, fantastic. Thank you. So, and as always, if you have questions, if you have comments, if you want me to explain anything, the best way to do that is to find your, instead of the chat space, if you can find your Q&A space option and put in your question or comment there, and then we'll look at that toward the end of today's session. So if you have a question, if you have a comment, please don't hold back. This is your time share what you think, what you want to express to others that are on. All these are your colleagues from across the country, so it's really awesome. So, all right, so here it is. Here's our homepage, preventionpluswellness.com. And so I'm going to walk you through the homepage and all of our links and all of the main resources so that you can know what's available to you at this point in time, at least. So if you notice at the top of the page, and of course there's some stuff above that you can just ignore, but you can see the blue banner. It says sign up, healthy lifestyle guidelines for youth and drug prevention. So if you drop in your first and last name and your email, you're on our mailing list. You'll get that document, healthy lifestyle guidelines. But and equally as important, I think, is you'll be on our mailing list so that you'll get announcements for future giveaways and research related to prevention and wellness and upcoming webinars. We have a couple other webinars, 3 actually in the pipelines. 2 are already scheduled and another one's coming up. Great webinars. We're going to try to do more and more webinars for you. So again, on the topic of prevention and wellness, so that intersection, that integration of preventing substance use and promoting healthy lifestyle habits, resulting in greater mental and physical well-being and performance of young people. So, holistic interventions and yet practical. So we'll be talking all about that a little bit more. So, by the way, that's the banner. If you haven't signed up, great way to do it. By the way, if you want to, while you're hearing me, you can actually pull up, some of you I'm sure are already done this, pull up preventionpluswellness.com, and you could follow along on your own device. You can see us if you want, or you can at least hear me, and then you can explore what I'm talking about when I go through this. So the first thing I want to do is just to walk you through the homepage, okay? And so you can see the top of the homepage is the banner, the blue banner, as I talked about. You can drop in your name, email, and you'll be on our mailing list. Then there's one of our 2 logos there, Prevention Plus Wellness, and then below that, there are the key pages. Homepage, it's underlined, that's what we're on. We'll scroll through that with you today. Then next to that, going from left to right. And by the way, if you can't see this, you'll have a little menu. Chances are that you've have your page set so that it's, I think, a larger typeface. So you may not see all this. So you'll see a menu sign as 3, bars like a hamburger. And if you click on that, you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see the pages that are on our website. So you got homepage. Then to the right of that, or down below, if you will, depending on what you're looking at, you've got our new youth interactive online programs. And then to the right of that are youth programs, then college adult programs, then training, then back to the left, the second level, we've got program and training licenses, then parent training and media campaigns, then to the right of that, youth workshops, stickers and more, and to the right of that are resources, free resources, and below that, about us, and then lastly, news blog. So I'm going to highlight a little bit of everything from each of those for you. So so you can get an overview of prevention plus wellness resources. So if you scroll down from here, now on our homepage, you'll see this. You see healthy lifestyle workbooks, 10-pack, and then this is a number of slides that have come across, and so that you can see some of the highlights of our program. So that's one of our programs. Actually, you can go below it, you can click it, and you can move forward. For example, there's the unlimited programs and training license. I'll talk more about that. There's our interactive online courses, new for 2025. By the way, related to that, almost all of our program manuals and slides and materials have been updated for 2025, including these brand new interactive programs. There's the seminal sport, alcohol drug prevention plus wellness program. Prevention plus wellness, we abbreviate with PPW. There's the vaping prevention plus wellness program, e-cigarette prevention program, the healthy lifestyles workbook, and so on. So you can see this thing rotates or should rotate, or you can move it forward by clicking on these little arrows, and there's 5 of those images. Now, below that, you can see prevention that does more than just prevent. In other words, it's a broader type of prevention, is prevention and health promotion, all within a single, most of our programs are a single session. And that's because they're screening and brief interventions. You can't get much briefer than a single intervention. They last, usually can be implemented within a 45, 50-minute period of time, implemented in a classroom setting or group setting or team setting, community setting, or individually, one-on-one, or even virtually, live virtually. So and then of course, lastly, you can implement them with our interactive program. So you have great flexibility, and this allows you to reach almost all youth and young adults in your region for real public health reach. And with evidence-based programs, evidence-based because some of our programs have actually been evaluated in controlled trials, and research findings have been published in scientific peer-reviewed journal articles. And then at a second level, programs are evidence-based because screening and brief interventions are an evidence-based practice. So we've got these screening and brief interventions. They target co-occurring health risks, particularly in addition to preventing whether it be alcohol or e-cigarettes or marijuana or opioids or whatever combinations of substances. Our programs also promote physical activity and sports, breakfast and nutrition, sleep and stress control. All of those behaviors are lacking usually in 3/4 or more of our adolescents, and those behaviors are integrated or are interrelated with substance use, and in fact, health behaviors help prevent substance use. Health behaviors also help promote mental and physical well-being. So that's the model in a nutshell. We have, as I said, different substance use topics: alcohol, marijuana, opioids, e-cigarettes, combinations thereof. You get a manual, a physical manual, and within that manual, you get a script to present your prevention plus wellness program to youth in groups or teams or whatever, and a script to implement it one-on-one to youth if you want to. And you can even implement your program as an expert, screening, brief intervention, referral to treatment, because our new 2025 manuals include a validated craft screener. So you have that great flexibility to implement programs to use, universal prevention intervention, or you can use the one-on-one script for higher risk youth, kids in school diversion, for example. Again, great flexibility there. And all of our programs are based on the behavior image model. It's a theoretical map for creating prevention programs that also promote healthy behaviors, designed to improve self-regulation skills, self-efficacy, positive identity, and that's the behavior image model, and uses goal setting, multi-behavior goal setting, very unique. And you can choose, again, your main options are you choose a physical manual. You get the manual with the 2 scripts, individual and group. You get the digital downloads of slides or reproducible materials, anything you need, screening surveys, goal plans, and you can implement it to countless individuals. So it's a one-time purchase, very cost. The more you implement it, the more cost effective it gets. We also have the new interactive online courses. Now, this is where a youth can take the course on their own individually as an assignment. You can do it in a classroom setting. You can implement it as, again, universal prevention or selective or indicated prevention intervention. We also have unlimited program and training licenses for those organizations that want to reach large numbers of people and get large numbers of people trained as implementers and implement the program. More about that in a minute. We have programs for children, young adolescents, older adolescents, and young adults and adults. And our programs have built-in pre-test and post-test. Even now, we have a follow-up post-test instructors survey. All of these are online. They can be customized links we can send to you so you can track the outcomes and the quality of implementation in your setting. Even though we have evidence-based programs, there are too many variables from place to place, different implementers, seasons, locations, settings, youth, etc. So we definitely believe in a data-driven decision. So we will help you get the data so that you as a prevention specialist and health specialist knows how these programs work for your youth in your setting. So very, very focused data from which you can promote your program, data that you can use to promote your program and to improve it over time. Our programs are used in all 50 states and abroad. Scrolling down on the homepage, we have a 2-minute video introducing practical prevention, promoting healthy lifestyles. There's the link. Sometimes you might miss it. There's a little arrow right there. You can click on that. I'll let you view that on your own. Cost-effective, easy to implement, wide-reaching prevention plus wellness programs, as I've said already. And then below that, there's some actual statements, testimonials, if you will, comments, positive comments about people that have used our programs throughout the years in the country, different programs. You can see them. This is supposed to rotate, but you can move it yourself by clicking on these arrows below the comments. And we have a lot of them because we've been doing this for many, many years. So all our programs are also listed on a wide number of evidence-based registries. In fact, we're going to do a webinar coming up here probably next month on evidence-based registries for prevention professionals. So you can look at these registries, all these registries, and more off to the right. There's a long list of them, and you can learn more by clicking on this button. Learn more about PPW program evidence-based. Programs are on evidence-based registries and reviews. And then lastly, on our homepage is Healthy Lifestyle Guidelines for Youth Drug Prevention. This gives you a description of that document that you can get for free by signing at the top of our homepage. There's our email address, info@preventionpluswellness.com, our phone number, 904-472-5022. If you need to reach us anytime, you find it right there in the bottom of our homepage. But if I scroll up to the top of our homepage, we started here. Look at the blue banner runs across your screen from left to right. If you sign up, if you drop in your first and last name and email, you'll be on our emailing list, and you'll be able to keep up to date with what we are offering and presenting on. We try to post something most days, and we try to send out an email blast once a week. So that's the home page. Any questions? Find your Q&A option, and if you have a question, you can drop it in there. Okay, from home page, going to the right is the Youth Interactive Online Programs. These are new programs. Let me explain how this came about. So we have a great prevention provider north of us in Georgia. And she and her colleague are implementing, busy implementing, they happen to be the sport prevention plus wellness programs to all these youth in middle schools, multiple middle schools, lots of classrooms going in and presenting, and very, very busy. And they really reached a large number of youth. But they wanted to also implement the high school version of the sport PPW program. But they only have 2 people, and they're very busy implementing their programs to middle school youth. And so how can they also implement to high school youth? And they asked us, an online program, and we did. It was not very being used very much. We created it actually way back uh, at the end of the pandemic when most prevention and health providers didn't want online programs. But so what we did, we went back to it and we completely reconfigured it. And here's what we offer. Now we've got these two online programs that are very interactive, fun, and they guide students through a series of engaging videos and activities. It's packed with motivational images and wellness tips. It's designed to be either self-implemented, self-guided. You could send the link to you. You could provide it to them as an assignment. You could provide it to them within a classroom setting and just walk them through it, help them navigate through the program. It could be implemented in a team setting. It could be implemented as a school diversion program. You could have the youth take it in the principal's office on their own. Great flexibility with this. And it takes about an hour to complete. It includes a downloadable wellness goal plan and a daily goal plan tracking form. It includes a certificate of completion so that teachers can see that it was completed. And so you can access this program. So now these providers in Georgia will be able to send these links to the high school classes and reach lots of high school youth through those classes, through those teachers, coaches, counselors, nurses, while they're focusing on implementing the manualized program by presenting those one session sport program lessons in the middle school, showing the slides and so on. So they are going to be able to expand their prevention footprint to both from middle school to both middle school and high schools by using both the manualized program for the middle school and presenting the lesson to the middle school students, at the same time sending the links to high school classes and settings. Does that make sense? Let me know if you have any questions. So this describes the new interactive online programs. We have two of them at this point. We have the sport high school program, sport prevention plus wellness alcohol and drug program, and then we've got a vaping e-cigarette prevention plus wellness program. Both of those are high school version. Now we're open to you as providers. If you want to have one of our other manualized programs, let's say it's the sport middle school program, or it's the marijuana high school program. If you want us to translate the manualized program into this interactive program and you want to make a commitment to purchase that, then that will motivate us to adapt our manual programs and create more interactive programs. So we're waiting for you to see what our providers want before we make any other translations of manual into interactive programs. And these programs start at $5 a student and go down to as low as $1.50 a student, depending on how many you purchase. That's the interactive online program. Were you guys? I should have asked. If you can see this slide, raise your hand. Yeah, I switched to this and I'm not sure. Okay, you can. Fantastic. I was worried about that. Now, let me go now from this to the news blog, all the way down to the end of the list here, news blog. I'm going to click on this, so I'll show you why. So the news blog is really good because we post almost on a daily basis news and research and giveaways and upcoming webinars. And so you can see some things here as I scroll down, lots of things on, and then there's there's 214 pages. You can go back in time to a lot of things. But let me show you the very last thing that we posted this morning. I think some of you will be interested in this free evidence-based interactive online drug use program courses. So we have announced today that we're going to be giving away 2 to 4 of these online programs. So here it is. Here's a description of what we're going to do. And if you're interested in this, you could pull up this news blog. And here's the last link. You could sign up for this. We're going to be giving it away two to four organizations to implement either the sport or the vaping interactive online programs in their setting. And so you could read more about it and what's required and what we're looking for, that kind of thing. Very brief, but I thought I'd announce that to you so you don't miss this in case you're not on our email list at this point. So that's under news and blogs. It's our latest news release, and then there's many other things. You could even add comments and so on. Almost nobody comments on these things, but you're welcome to do that if you want to. So I'm going to go back now to the top of our homepage and click on youth programs. And I'm going to click on the caret, and you can see, I'm hoping you can see a drop down, but if you don't, you can listen what the drop down is. This is a list of our youth programs. So we've got the sport, alcohol, and drug prevention plus wellness program for youth. I'll open that and we'll look at that in a minute. Then below that, an adaptation of the sport program. By the way, all of these are adaptations of either the evidence-based sport or evidence-based in-shape program. So we got the sport, alcohol, and drug program. Below it, we've got the sport, alcohol, and cannabis program. Below that, we've got the marijuana PPW program, vaping, e-cigarette PPW program, opioid PPW program. There's 3 listed under that heading. Sport 3 PPW, it's a 3-lesson program, alcohol, marijuana, and e-cigarettes over 3 weekly periods. We've got the sport health behaviors program. It's 6 sessions. It's more health promotion forward, 3 lessons on physical activity, 2 on nutrition, and 1 on sleep and stress control. But same model, all integrating the prevention of alcohol and drug use. We have a faith and a justice program, and then there's program evaluation services. And the last item is, if you want to see all of our programs listed and the prices, there it is. It's the PPW program and training price list. So that you may want to take a look at if you're going to make a purchase of anything. But let me go back up to the top. This is under the heading of youth programs, and I'm going to click on sport, alcohol, and drug. So here's our sport, alcohol, and drug program. It's $5.99 per manual. Comes with a physical manual, script to implement this to youth individually, one-on-one, or in a group. And we have different versions of this. We have a high school and a middle school and an elementary school. We also have Spanish versions of those 3 manuals, and it comes with digital downloads of the slides and all the reproducible materials. So you buy one of these and you can implement it to countless young people. And so this is our first evidence-based program. You can read on our website the research and the outcomes, both preventing substance use, even though the topic of this was largely addresses how alcohol interferes with healthy habits. We did find outcomes in the research on tobacco and marijuana use, interestingly enough. So youth are connecting the dots. They're seeing that. We are making the assumption that because they can see that alcohol interferes with healthy habits and desired future images of themselves, that other substances are also going to be a barrier to achieving those things. So that's why we found other outcomes. By the way, SPORT stands for, and you can see it here, substance prevention, optimizing resiliency training. So this program and all of our programs are not for youth in sports alone, although our programs promote physical activity and sport participation, movement of any kind. It's just that it's an acronym, so I want to sort of highlight that. Single session and multi-session formats we have for sports, like Sport 3, for example. Behavior image model is the underlying conceptual or theoretical framework. You get a manual, you get the health behavior screening tools, both our screening survey, which is designed to increase awareness of health habits and reflection of health habits for the young people, but also you get the craft screener. It's a validated screener for identifying high-risk substance use if you implement this as an expert to use one-on-one. Let me know if you have any questions. Drop in your question in the Q&A space. You do have scripts, individual and group. You can tailor those. You can tailor the slides if you want. For example, if the slides, even though the slides highlight different ethnicities, positive behaviors, both genders, if you have a unique group that's not represented or not represented enough in your slide, you can switch the images, not a problem. So you are allowed to do tailoring of the slides. We just request that you please send it to us. We can review and give you feedback, learn from you, and then also make sure that the underlying theory is still intact within the program. Goal setting plans are included in calendar logs, weekly goal plans, evaluation materials to evaluate both the quality of implementation and pre and post, and even follow-up post changes. And we have age specific. Most of our programs have a high school, middle school, elementary school age program. So this is a more holistic or more comprehensive wellness type of a program, prevention plus wellness. Very simple, very intuitive to implement. You read the script, you follow the slides, very easy and practical. So you can request a sample here if you click on that. This link here. You could order the online implementer training, a little bit more about that, and you can see how sport is related to and meets national health education standards. So, going back up to the top, that's sport, alcohol, drug, PPW, that's under the youth programs. Now moving to the right, college and adult programs. In Shape is our original college program. It's used for any young adults in or outside of college work sites, ages 18 to 25, 26. We even have U.S. Air Force using this with their recruits. So it's very flexible for young people. Same kind of thing, alcohol and drug prevention has been shown to prevent and reduce alcohol use, including heavy use, marijuana use, including heavy marijuana use, drinking, driving, increasing healthy behaviors, all from that 50 or so minute single session screening and brief intervention, which you can implement to young people, one-on-one or in a group. And below that, an adaptation of the InShape program called Opioid and Stimulants for young adults. Then we have two adult programs, InShape Wellness Lifestyle Training for adults and InShape Wellness Weight Loss for adults. Those are our college and adult programs. And then to the right of that training, I'm going to click on that and open up the options of training. Our number one most popular training option for program implementers is the online self-paced program implementer training. And it's a $249 a person. So let me just click on that and open that. So when you look at this, you can get a training for almost any of our programs, should be all of our programs actually. So you can see the sport high school program or the sport middle school program. They're all the same price, $249 per person. And it walks you through the program manual. So it teaches you what's the underlying theory, research, steps for implementation, how to tailor, how to evaluate. Very, very important, and yet pretty practical, because you can go through this training. It's video formatted. It's entertaining. It's participatory, and you can get through it in just a couple hours. So it's a very, very practical training. Now, what we recommend to our providers across the country is you don't necessarily have to take, and by the way, it comes with a 3-year certificate as a program implementer. But let's say you're implementing sport high school, sport middle school, sport elementary school. You don't necessarily have to take all 3 trainings because they overlap so much. They're so similar. So we recommend, and you can save time, you can save resources, just get one of those. Like sport high school, take that, get that training, get that certificate, And then you can just, if you have the manuals, then you can just practice the script for the middle school sport program and the elementary school program. So that's what we recommend. You don't necessarily have to have the training because the theory is the same, the research is the same, so it'll be a little bit redundant. But it's up to you. You know, some individuals, some organizations like to have their staff trained in all the programs and all the versions. That's fine, but you don't have to. That's what we're saying. And if you have questions about that, just email us at info@preventionpluswellness.com and we can guide you in that regard. So training, that's one of our training options. The second training below that is we have an online train the trainer. So we can train you to go ahead and turn around and train other program implementers. And then we have an online or on-site program implementer and training workshop. So it could be a virtual live workshop where we can come to your setting and do that to a group. That's a group price. And then lastly, this is new, we've got a youth leadership training for $5.99. It comes in a, oh, I guess it's just one version. I thought it was multiple versions, but it's a 2-hour PowerPoint driven training for youth leaders. So if you have a youth leadership group, you can train them in the Prevention Plus Wellness model. They receive an abbreviated version of the sport program, and then they have access to the PowerPoint training slides. Well, they have access to, you have access as the implementer, as the teacher. The PowerPoint training slides, a recorded webinar, will be presenting it, so you have some ideas how to present it. But the youth also have access to the screening surveys, the goal plans, the calendar logs, which they can share with their peers. So, I mean, it's a great tool because it's an evidence-based model. So if you're going to train youth in leadership skills, they receive abbreviated version of sport, then they're given the materials to sport to share with their peers in school and community settings. So they're taught a model, prevention plus wellness model. They learn about prevention, they learn about wellness, they've experienced the program, and then they can tell their peers, hey, I'm setting weekly goals. This is what I'm doing. Let me know if you're interested. I have some extra goal sheets. So it's skills and it's tools that they can use to promote prevention and wellness among their peers. And it's a great leadership experience. It's a great service experience. That's youth leadership training. And that's under the heading of training. That's our last training option. Going to the far left, we've got program and training licenses. It's just one license. It's called, it's actually multiple licenses, but it's one type of license. It's the unlimited PPW program and training license. So you can get a license at any of these, like sport high school, you can get a license, sport middle school, the sport alcohol, cannabis high school, etc. So they are about $2,000 a year. And you can get them for 2 years, you can get them for 3 years at $2,000 a year or more. We're happy to work with you. And the advantage of the license, this is where it becomes cost saving, is that if you have a license, let's say you have this sport alcohol and cannabis high school license for a year. During that year, anybody can be sent, anybody in your region can be sent to the PPW training portal and get trained as a program implementer, and then they can also be sent a link to the PDF of the manual and the downloads. So unlimited access to program materials virtually and training as an implementer. So rather than buying $600 manuals and $250 trainings, a license allows you anybody to be trained and anybody to have access to the materials. So it's very cost effective strategy, and that's why it's a very practical and very popular among our programs. That's the unlimited PPW program and training license. So you could lock it in. So if you have a grant, and it's even just a 1-year grant, you could actually purchase a 3-year license, and then you're continuing access to the materials and the training beyond the life of that funding source. So that's the training licenses. We also have parent and media campaign. The parent training was just updated. Here it is, $5.99. And we have three versions here. We have a parent training in English, a parent training in Spanish, and then we also have a train-the-trainer agreement if you want to train other parents in the presenting the lesson. And you actually have 4 lessons. So we've combined, it essentially comes with 4 PowerPoint-driven training tools, and you can present the presentation of the PPW program to parents and caregivers and how to prevent their youth's alcohol use is one lesson, another is marijuana, another is e-cigarettes, another is opioids. So it's actually 4 lessons in one. You get a set of 4 PowerPoint-driven lessons. So that's our new Parent Prevention Plus Wellness program. So at the second level of prevention, in addition to presenting your one or multi-session prevention plus wellness programs to youth in schools and community settings and whatever, if you train parents to also talk to their youth about positive behaviors and images and try to get them to set goals at home, you can have reinforcing messages from parents and from you. And so the more messages, the more reinforcement of prevention and wellness, the more likely it's going to have a positive impact on youth. And that's why we also include media campaigns, a third level of prevention. So youth programs directly to youth and young adults, parent training, and media campaigns. We also have we have healthy lifestyle workbooks, health behavior scratch and sniff stickers, which are they're fun, and we have a sticker for each of the health behaviors: physical activity, nutrition, sleep, and stress control. You scratch and they smell and promote that behavior. So those are fun things. We have a healthy behavior goal chart. Let me click on that because this is free. This is one of our free resources. We used to charge for this, but not anymore. And so if you have a classroom or a team or a group, and you can share this with your teachers and counselors and coaches and what have you, and they can print this out. They can even have it laminated, put it on their wall, and for 4 weeks you can have your group, your team, put their names in there and track their goal success. So you can have a group exercise, so they can support each other. You can also have across the classrooms or across team competitions if you want to. So that's free. It's a digital chart. And that's under the heading of youth workbooks, stickers, and more. I'm going to go back and look at the healthy workbooks because we just expanded the workbooks now to 3 versions: high school, middle school, and elementary school. It's becoming very popular, and it's because the workbooks can be a follow-up to the single session PPW lesson. And the workbooks have a ton of interactive exercises in them for a classroom or for a team or for a group. Lots of fun. And they highlight and continue to expand and promote the health behaviors: physical activity, nutrition, sleep, stress control, and alcohol and drug avoidance. So all of them, goal setting, everything's included in these workbooks. So they're great workbooks, and you can learn more. There's a little video you can even click on and learn more about the healthy lifestyle workbooks, and those have become more and more popular. Resources. These are where you can get lots of free things. So we have, for example, the first item is program resources. So if you scroll down, all these things are free and helpful for you to learn about PPW and to share with others to educate them. So there's an introduction to prevention plus wellness, a 2-minute video, and there's flyers, and there's brochures, and there's letters to athletic directors and fact sheets, and there's just a ton of stuff here. Well, not a ton, but quite a few things. Quite a few things there under the heading of PPW program resources, and that's under resources. And also under that list, if you look at it, There's partnership opportunities to work with us on a grant or to implement our programs. If you want to implement we even will partner with organizations to implement our programs and evaluate them in a rigorous evaluation and provide free online program training materials. So that's under the heading of partnership opportunities. Take a look at it. Program PPW program evidence based. I talked about that earlier. Registries that, and then also here's the actual research, PPW research, and here's real world case studies over the years of our programs. In other words, what providers like you have said and shown us by data collection how effective it is for you in real world settings rather than just in a research setting. There's a logic model, grant services for those of you writing grants. There's a sample grant, there's our surveys. Here, if you're interested, parent resources, free parent resource links and materials for parents that you want to share with them, and program surveys and evaluation. If you want to learn more about our built-in evaluations and surveys in our PPW programs, you can click on that. That's all under the heading of resources. News and blogs, I talked about. The last item here is about us, and you can learn more about our mission. This we posted just recently, an article on universal selective and indicated prevention plus wellness. If you want to sign up to receive program samples, there is a link. If you want to sign up for a free Zoom consultation with us, there it is, and in PPW National Health Education Standards. That's it. A whirlwind overview of PPW resources. Okay? Now we've covered a lot, and so let me see if anybody has any questions at this point. I'm going to go to the Q&A. Looks like there's a couple of items. So Christy says, I can only see the tabs and just the sliver of the main picture. Oh, could you just, yes. So that's what I was afraid of, Christy. So I'm just going to say this. You heard what I said. So I'm just going to let you at this time take it from where I left off and just explore the website and go ahead and click on those things. But if you want me to show you something specifically right now, Christy, let me know. And then after that, you can go on your own and explore this at preventionpluswellness.com. Okay. My apologies for not being able to see everything. Amanda says that if you purchase a program that is for 3 years, if you update the curriculum like you did in 2025, do we get the update curriculum for free or would we have to pay? So that's a great question. And I'm not sure how much it changes from the update. So we do update our programs, Amanda, every couple, 3 years. It depends which program update as to how much is updated, but we think it's good enough and important enough to do the update. So we think there is some important changes, so that's why we update it and offer it as a new update. If you have a license, let's say you have a license and the programs have been updated, you will have the old materials for a while, and then we will include online the new materials, no charge. So you'll have access to the new materials. So for example, some people have a license, and let's say they're implementing sport high school program. And so at this point in time, from last year, they have the sport 2023 version of materials, but they also have now the sport 2025 version of the materials, the manual materials. So, and then we'll delete the old 2023 stuff from that. If you have a program physical manual, this question that you raised this, I've not thought of this before, but if you have a 2023 manual, you want a 2025 manual, you have to buy it. But, we should offer some kind of a discount for people that have an old manual. So if you ask for a discount, we'll give it to you. Okay? Info@preventionpluswellness.com. And how much they change, it depends, but it's worthwhile to go with the new materials. The training is new, online training, self-paced training is linked to the new manual, so it's well worth updating. And so, for example, new materials have been added, new content has been added, new screening surveys have been added, etc. So it's good to stay up to date if you can afford it. If you can't afford it, if your budget doesn't allow you, let me know how we can work with that. And then Jess asks, do you include information on overdose recognition, response, and education that's included in the Minnesota state statutes? Yes, our opioid PPW program for adolescents does include that. So yes, so definitely, and in fact, that's because our opioid adolescent program was key to what SAMHSA, Substance Use Mental Health Services Administration, recommended. So it's one of our unique. It's a unique PPW program because we include materials on treatment and intervention, and like you're saying, overdose recognition of what to do, and that kind of thing. And that was because that's what SAMHSA recommended be included in prevention programs, and we included that. So take a look at that, Jess. And if you want to see a sample of the opioid PPW program for adolescents, we also have an opioid and stimulant PPW program for young adults. Take a look at those. So those are great questions. Let me know, Christy, if you want me to open up something that you weren't able to see. I'm going to now go to the chat space. Oops. Hang on a second. And see if there's any questions in here. Oh, Christy says she figured it out. I followed along. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you were able to do that. How long is the online individual session? We think it's about the same as whether you implement it in person, virtually live, one-on-one or in a group, or interactive online. We think it'll take about an hour, but that really will depend on if they get stuck on something. We don't think it'll take more than a session because, it's technology and kids are wise to that and they can move through these things quickly. But the programs are set so it doesn't allow them to just blow through it. They have to answer questions, they have to complete crossword puzzles and things. So it stops them, makes them pause, makes them think. It's much more interactive. So we could send you a sample if you want to review the Sport High School or Vaping High School interactive online programs. Kathleen, let us know and you can take a look at it yourself. Yes. People have said yes to my questions, and then we have all these people from all these different states and even abroad. And it looks like we may have one more question in the Q&A. So let me take a look at that one more time. I had Jess's question, and then Christy, I figured it out. That's awesome. And then Amanda says, can you provide a copy of the article to the peer-reviewed journal? I tried to go to it from the website, and it wants me to pay. So, Amanda, I'm happy to do what I can. If you can, I'm not sure what article you're talking about. If you can give me the article title and the journal, I'll see if we have access to it. And sometimes, yes, that's the way these scientific journals are. Sometimes you only have access to the abstract, and so you have to go to a library to get it, or you have to pay to get it. But most of ours, I think, were loaded onto a federal database. You can see the whole thing, but let me know what it is. I'm not sure what article you're referring to. So can you send that to me, please, Amanda? Send it to info@preventionpluswellness.com, and I'm happy to help if I can. Just to, give me the title and the location of that article, and I'll see if I can help. Okay, any other questions? We're running out of time. We have another minute or so. If anybody has any questions, thank you so much. God bless you guys for what you do for youth and families in your communities. You're amazing. if we can help promote the whole health of your youth or young adults or adults in the region, let us know. We've got lots of options of things, but it causes confusion sometimes because we have so many resources. So if you want to set up a Zoom call, let me know. We can do that. Do drop in your name, first and last name, if you don't mind, in this tool, in this banner here on our homepage, so that you can receive weekly email blasts. You can always delete those or back out of those if you don't like them, but you'll get lots of resources and opportunities to learn from research and webinars and things like that. So let me see one more time if anybody has any other questions. Yes, I would like a sample. So Kathleen, would you please do me a favor and also email me at info@preventionpluswellness.com and say, yes, I'd like to see a sample of whatever it is that you wanted. I think it was either the sport high school or vaping high school online program, the interactive program. If you could ask me that, I would appreciate it, because sometimes I'm not able to capture these chat comments. I'll try to, but if you would do that, it would ensure that I can get you that material, Kathleen. The overview session was really informative. I did not realize all the different kinds of things. Thank you, Angela. I appreciate that. In a couple of weeks, we'll have another webinar, and then we'll have one, at least one in September. So sign up and please participate. All right. Again, thank you all. I think we're done. I think everybody's had their questions answered. Have a great day. Be safe out there. Keep up the good work. If we can support you and help you in any way, let us know. Keep us in mind. And I hope to see you in a future webinar. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.